Are you considering making a move to Dallas, Texas? Well, if so, I am sure that you have a ton of questions. We have helped people much like yourself, so we've compiled that list of our most frequently asked questions, and we're about to jump right on in. Hello, my name is Missy with the Live in Dallas, Texas team. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. Be sure while you're here to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you're notified every time we add a new video to the channel. Honestly, we get people much like yourself that are relocating to Dallas, and we love it. We love to answer those questions and be the resource for you when you're wanting to know what it's like to live, eat, sleep, and play Dallas. So make sure that you reach out so that we can help you too with answer all those questions. We can be reached via text, via call, via email, and we are available for you days, nights, and weekends. We look forward to being that resource here on the ground in Dallas, Texas, and we can't wait to meet you. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about the most frequently asked questions. I have 5 that I'm going to cover with you today. And to get us kicked off and started, we're going to start with question number 5, which is, what is the public school system like? I think that's a fair question. There's a large number of families that are moving to Dallas, Texas, and certainly education will be at the top of their list of questions. So Texas public school system, and specifically in the North Dallas area, has some of the best school districts around. The districts have A and solid B rankings in most of the schools, which takes into consideration a lot of different factors. It's going to take into effect the education and safety, how many people are graduating, what about the amount of children that go to college, how do they test in the SAT and the ACT, what about those special programs? And I will tell you the programs vary and include those that might have special needs all the way up to the most talented and gifted. And from athletics all the way to the arts. So whatever you're looking for, you can find here in Texas. What we need to know though is, what are those must-haves? Do you have the next quarterback in the NHL or NFL? Or do you have that next Rhodes Scholar? Do you have somebody that would like to go into the culinary arts or maybe the theater? Whatever that list is for you, communicate that with us so that we can help tailor where you're looking for a home in a school district that matches what you're looking for your school-age children. I have put 2 children through the public school system, and we were absolutely thrilled with our decision. It saved us thousands of dollars on the private school system, though is also extremely wonderful. If you want to spend the money on that pre-college education, you certainly can. There are amazing private schools out there. But the public school system is well funded. The funds come as part of what we pay in property taxes. So you are paying into the area that you live. And with that, you really have and can be instrumental in your children's education and their experience. It's one thing to put a lot of this burden on the educators, but I find that the overall experience for your children and yourself as a family is so much better and more well-rounded when we as parents dig in and we volunteer our time. And we really can make that education such a superior experience for the entire community, really. Do you go out there and help those teachers with the things that they just can't get done in a day? Are you out there supporting the drama team and the culinary institutions, as well as those football players on Friday nights as they take the field? Right? So getting involved is really going to be wildly impactful to your lives and the lives of those in your family. So again, education, where do we stand? I've had a tremendous experience with the schools here on the public side. I've also had some experience on the private side. Both of them wonderful as far as education and the experience. Also, I find that I've also put the 2 kids through college. They were very well prepared for their college experience. So they teach them here how to study and how to acclimate so that they have great interpersonal skills between students. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up as far as most frequently asked question number 1, what are these school systems like? And I would say with confidence that you'll be able to find a school that meets your wants and your needs for your family. Our next most frequently asked question is going to be about the friendliness. So we are often asked, how is it to acclimate to the Dallas, Texas area, and are we gonna have a hard time? And I would tell you, I think, of course I'm a native, so we are seeing people come in from all states, that we absolutely love the diversity and the mix of the cultures and the experiences that people that are non-Texans bring with them when they come to the state. And I'll tell you a little story. It's my own personal story, but what it includes is when we recently moved into a brand new area. Now, whether it's a new state, a new city, or a new neighborhood, you're going to have that readjustment, right? People don't know you, and if you're like me, they want to know you, right? And you want to know them. So here in our neighborhood, when we moved in, we were new, we didn't know anybody, didn't know our neighbors. What we found though is if you want to meet your neighbors, there are neighborhoods that are facilitating that. The neighborhood that we had put together monthly meetings where you got to meet the new neighbors, and people came around and welcomed us with open arms and a welcome basket and encouraged us to go to a meet and greet in our neighborhood. So we show up because we're not one that's very shy in our household. So we showed up and we just wanted to meet the people. That's really part of just living that life, that experience that makes a difference so much to us. So we went, didn't meet a single stranger. Everybody was smiling and welcoming and wanted to know about us and how we could acclimate and adjust into the new community. We ended up joining a couple of groups that they had that met where we were in our stage of life. And we now, I think there was about 20 people in that group. 8 of them I consider to be my closest and best friends. And I didn't know them before we moved into this neighborhood just a few short years ago. The neighborhood also does a really good job of having community events, concerts, as well as parades, different events for the children, for the adults, and everything in between. There are community pools and restaurants and trails. So if you want to meet your neighbors and you want that overall Texas-friendly experience, you've got that here. Now, you have to join in though, right? It is very difficult if you just stay within the confines of your house to meet anyone. But if you're willing to go and put yourself out there, it will be met with wild return. Again, I'm a native. However, right now, I think I'm in the minority. We have far more people that have migrated to Texas and now consider themselves a Texan, which to me just warms my heart. It means that they love everything about our state and our people, and they've made the right decision to call Texas home. The next most frequently asked question is, what is there to do there? I certainly don't want you to be bored, but I would return with the question of, what do you like to do? I can almost bet you that we have that here. So let's talk about a few things. Are you a foodie? If you're a foodie, you will not be disappointed. And those restaurants that are high quality, or just your regular old taco shack on a Tuesday, everything is here. And it's in your neighborhood, and it's in the downtown areas. So you don't have to go 30, 40, 50 minutes from home to have a fine dining experience. We've done a really good job of developing those different restaurants and foodie related activities all along the corridors so that you never have to drive too far for that experience. What about the arts? I will tell you, if you want to listen to a musical, go to a concert, go to the theater, we have all kinds of different community complexes, theaters, music halls, and again, spread out from downtown all the way into the suburbs. The arts is very important here, and we're growing those amenity centers constantly. So the arts, you've got that covered. What about the sports? I know I've talked about this before, but this area is the sports mecca. We have the Dallas Cowboys if you're a football fan. We have the Dallas Mavericks if you're a basketball fan. We have, in my household, their favorite, the Dallas Stars, which is the hockey team here. And we have the Texas Rangers baseball team. So the major sports are all represented here by our sports teams. And if you love to be outdoors, we've got you covered there as well. The area has a lot of various lakes that you can do recreational boating. You could also do some fishing. You could also just enjoy the sunshine. Most of the neighborhoods have hiking and biking trails as well as community pools. So anything that you'd like to do outdoors, Texas is a wonderful spot to do that. If you think about our weather, it's perfect. You have about 3 or 4 months where it's a little on the cool side, but the rest of the year is very sunshine and outdoor friendly. So there is something to do for everyone. It just depends on what you like to do, or maybe you like to do a variety of things, which is what we like to do in our household. But make that list of things that you like to do and discuss it with us so that we can point you in the right direction so that you always have a full social calendar and never can say that you're bored right here in the great state of Texas. The next most frequently asked question has to do with the housing. So the question looks or sounds kind of like, what are the houses like, right? Because architecture and layouts and floor plans will vary from state to state. It even varies here in our own state from area to area. But I would tell you that no, not every house is on a sprawling ranch and is a single story with just rooms that go on for days. That's Hollywood, right? But here you'll find that most of the northern Dallas suburbs are simply that. They are subdivisions that have anywhere from 50 homes to over 5,000 homes. And those houses are going to be uniform. You're going to have a continuity of style that could vary from neighborhood to neighborhood. We do not have basements for the most part here in Texas. We have single-story homes that are on level and two-story homes primarily. Now, when you have a single-story home, which some people in other parts of the country call that a ranch style, we just call it a one-story. So those one stories are going to take up because of the floor, the way that it takes up the space on the land. So you traditionally have a little bit less yard with a single story. You have a little bit more yard when you go up with your size into that two-story. Another thing to note is our two stories. Most of the time we have the master bedroom is traditional beyond the first floor. There are a few floor plans that put that master bedroom on the second floor. I know that is very popular in other parts of the country, but here the master bedroom and a secondary bedroom is a very popular floor plan when you're talking about the two-story. Most of our homes are wide open when it comes to the open floor plan, meaning your dining, your kitchen, and your gathering space, family room, den, whatever you want to call that congregation point, is usually very open so that you can be in conversation no matter if someone's cooking or if they're sitting doing homework at the dining room table or if you're watching TV. So that's very common. We also like to have the bedrooms split so that the owner suite is on one side of the home and the secondary bedrooms are on the other side of the home. So that gives you some privacy. We're also really big on media rooms or TV lounges, game rooms, and studies. So those you'll find in our floor plans as well. Typical construction is going to be brick, and we also add some accent stone. The roof is typically made of a composition roof, so not a tile or a wood, but a composition. We have fences here. I know that is also unique in some of the parts of the country, but we tend to have privacy fences, either wood or a metal, depending on the subdivision. We absolutely have found Texas architecture to be very easy to maintain, easy to heat and cool, and very close to making those relationships between our neighbors. Now, if you want that ranch style on lots of land with cattle and horses, we certainly have that too. but that's gonna be a little bit further out, a little bit more rural than your suburbs. Your suburbs are gonna be more compact and close to your shopping. So your grocery stores, your dry cleaners, your gas stations, the schools. The schools are traditionally in the neighborhoods, so that makes it very convenient for those that have the education, or the children that are in the lower than college education. So that's kind of housing in a general discussion, but again, make a list. Tell me what you'd like to see so that we can tailor your visit, so that we show you the type of architecture you like, the lot size, the amenities. Are you looking for the single story so you don't have to climb stairs? Or do you want a 2-story so you get some separation between yourself and the children, right? There's something for everyone. Just let us know what that looks like for you and we'll go to work. All right, you've made it. You've made it to the final most frequently asked question. And when I say it's final, it's also the most, the most asked, which completely makes sense. And that is, what part of the Dallas area should I call home? That's a loaded question. There are a lot of different areas that you should consider when moving to Dallas. One, I would start with, where do you want to work? Or where are you going to work? And is that a distance factor? Do you want to be so many minutes or so many miles from the work? And if that's the case, then we could go to work looking at those areas that would get that commute time in line with what your wishes are. If you're open, if you're coming here and saying, you know what, I'm gonna move to Dallas and then I'll find work, or I can work remote, then you have a lot more choices. With that, I would highly suggest, and our specialty are those communities that are north of Dallas. The growth coming out north has been tremendous. The appreciation is through the roof. I have videos, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, that uncover what it's like in those various communities. But some of the hottest ones are in the county of Collin County. And those are gonna include cities like Plano, Frisco, Prosper, Salina, Gunner, Anna, Melissa, Van Alstyne, Allen. We have all of those cities that all are a little bit unique and different. And depending on what you're looking for in your community and home and education for your kids on the independent school district side, we can help narrow that search down so that we can give you an overall view and an insight into each one of those neighborhoods. And what would it look like to live there? What are the pros and what are the cons of each of those different communities, so that we can match that with your list and your desires and really hone in on a community or two to go and take a look at, because I know it can be overwhelming and we certainly don't want it to be. But when you give us that list, we can give you the guidance. We are all here, boots on the ground, many of us natives, and we can help make that where to live question a whole lot simpler by asking you a few questions and you asking us some questions, so that we can really hone in on that search. So where to live, you really can't go wrong, but we'll help guide that process for you. So many questions when moving to a new area. Oh my goodness. I certainly do not want you to be overwhelmed. What I really want you to do is tap into this resource. This resource that you have called the Live in Dallas, Texas team, where we have real estate professionals that are here to answer questions before the move, during the move, and after the move. What we need you to do is to write down those wishes and your wants. Where are you gonna work? What are you looking for? So that we can help you. So answering those questions is invaluable. Once you get them, call us, text us, or email us so that we can go to work for you. We want this move to be one that you enjoy and you're happy and you're excited about. We would love to call you a friend, and most importantly, a Texan. While you're here on the business side of things, making that list, also subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you're notified every time we add a new video to the channel. We are your resource here in Texas. We have your back, and we look forward to helping you and making that move as smooth as possible. We'll see you soon.